This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Tonight, we're on to week 2 of the NFL season. We got a good one on tap, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Green Bay Packers. After a great first week of football, what does week 2 have in store? The Commanders and the Packers underway on Thursday night primetime. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
First of all, you ain't fast long enough. You ain't strong enough. So whatever it is, they got you thinking that you Superman. I got the kryptonite. The mic. Yes?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
A first carry for the all-pro running back. It's Josh Jacobs. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw now. Here's Love. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Looking for Christian Watson that time. And it's 3rd down. When you look at this defense, they come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that may get lost in the grand scheme of things, but one thing's for sure. You certainly don't want to go 3 and out to start the game. So that's a nice job of finding the right play call and coming up with a first down.
Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he's got this down to the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Packers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because
they'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Ready,
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Ready. 50, green. Smash, red. Set.
Play fake. Here's Love. He'll try and do this himself. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Amos. And the Commanders are going to have the football here see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one, and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Mustang 19. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick.
To the air goes Daniels. This will be caught by Brown. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. The plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? It's who are the freshest guys coming off the last game you play on a Thursday night. Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go with them early and often.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll try the right side here with White. And tough slide. They'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Got his man, and that's the rookie 4th-round pick. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 3rd and 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Over the middle, and there's a diamond catch. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Hey, go.
Play action, now it's Daniels. His pass caught with the throw. Touchdown! Ben Simmons, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. You talk about this Washington defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And being able to set the tone early in this game, because when you get down to it, it's that sign that we saw in their football facility when we visited with them. The one that said no explosives, no big plays, no chunk plays. That's what they've got to take care of.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. I'll give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Here we go. Trouble, 38.
Here's Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Now, this defense for the Commanders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
Down.
Love now. That's taken in by Golden. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper in the territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even.
Touchdown, Packers! Matthew Golden with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers are an extra point away from evening this one up. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Okay, ready?
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Commander's first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
1st and 10.
Let's go now.
36-yard line.
First down, here's White. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. No big surprise. Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping it for a loss.
At the 44-yard line.
Here's Daniels. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Daniels looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Officially that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Let's go.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Set. Ready.
Love looking to throw it. Out to the left here to Reed. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
It's a gain of 14.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at their 48-yard line.
Ready. Set.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Eyes the crossing route and hits Watson. And they'll bring it down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Jalen Lane deep for Washington. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That's caught downfield. It's Lane. And all the way down to the 39. A huge play there for Washington. 41 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now Daniel's going to keep it. He's got White here. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Tress Way on fourth down is sent out to punt. Oh, it's a wobbler here. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. As they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Off the play fake, Love. It's caught downfield. It's Golden. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Here we go, set.
First and 10 at the 38.
Working out of the gun. Love. That's a Packers touchdown. Matthew Golden as the first half is winding down. And the Packers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Ready, break.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Let's go now.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Lane. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout
On the go.
called. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Cougar 19.
In motion goes the tight end. The final shot before break. Daniels. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2. 1 2.
one-touchdown ball game. 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Come on.
Now Daniels. Here's White. They set up the screen. Only 3 there on the screen and second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
Ready?
In motion, the tight end.
60 Eagles. Go.
Throwing now is Daniels. A short throw taken in by Control. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
First and 10 at the 47.
Ready?
Now a give up the middle. This is White. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
There's a short one pulled in by Simmett. The 20. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now Daniel's going to keep it. He's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Ready?
To throw is Daniels. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Ready?
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Jake Moody now on for the field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Ready, ready. Black, hut, hut.
Play action this time with Love. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Come on, set.
Now Love. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Set, hut. Set, hut.
To throw now, here's Love. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Throwing. Love. Pass caught. That's Golden. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
And brings up third down.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Here we go. Here we go. 33. Ready.
Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up fourth down. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Cowboy 80. Ready.
They run straight ahead here with White. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a first down Washington on a pickup of 18.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10.
Come on. 60 boxes.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll go up the middle with White. And he's got some space here. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action. Daniels. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it's 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL. Being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. On third down, a run from White. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Rachaad White, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the third quarter. Moody good with the extra point. And it's now 17-14. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Let's go now.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. From the 41, here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go. Set.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Love from the gun on 3rd down. And they'll find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That is caught. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Set, hut. Ready.
Here's Love. Right side to Watson. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Ready.
Second and 4. They can still get a first down without scoring.
Come on. Set, hut.
Love now. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
Second and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Come on.
Play action, now it's Daniels. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here we go. Set. Hawk 70. Hawk. Hey, check that. Street.
Brown goes in motion left. Daniels from the gun on third down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Running out of the gun with White. Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Ready.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Tag. 70 Timberwolves.
To the air goes Daniels. Man open left side is Brown. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Daniels looking to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Daniels going to throw for it. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
3 yards. And the Washington first down. It's a gain of 23 yards.
Off the play fake. Daniels. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And they're working inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Let's go.
On the handoff, this is White. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. They come up now on 2nd and 2.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground with White. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Rashad White, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Commanders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Ready. Black 40.
Love. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. There was Leo Chanel who got in to drop him.
At the 31-yard line.
Somebody gotta do it. I'm in. Hey, somebody gotta do it. I see the G. Hey, watch him do it.
Well, they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
Come on, Jack.
Love looking to throw it. Now he'll take this. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
A loss of 13
Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big third down. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down.
Set, hut. Set, go.
Now Love. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. Here's White. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down. And after that, the air just went right out of the balloon. And you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Packers 21.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. This is 1st and 10. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Ready.
Here's 1st down.
Here we go. Ready.
Here's Love. Able to connect with Jacobs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
At the 44-yard line.
Here we go. Here we set.
Love. This is caught inside the 15. And with just inside the 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left.
That's another Packers first down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Here's 1st and goal.
Let's go now. Ready. Ready.
Ritter wants to throw it. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Now the try here for the extra point. The PAT good. It will draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Let's go now. 60 Bison. 60 Bison.
Washington about to close this one out as they are